Get ready with me while I tell you how my best friend's girlfriend dragged him and his mom to my house in the middle of the night to confront me. I know what y'all are thinking. Not the girl best friend, but no, really, it's actually not like that at all. All four of our parents grew up in the same hometown and they've been friends since elementary school. Then when they were in high school, my mom and my dad started dating, his mom and his dad started dating, and they got married right after high school. They were high school sweethearts. It's pretty cute. None of our parents came from big families, so they always considered each other their families. I grew up always referring to my best friend's parents as my aunt and uncle, and to my best friend and all of his siblings as my cousins. And they were the same way. That's just how it's always been. They're just my family. A lot of people in my life actually don't know that he's not my real cousin because it's just so normal to me to refer to him as my cousin. That's how I see him. Out of all my best friend's siblings, I'm the closest to him because we're the closest in age. So we just grew up spending a lot of time together. But it's never been romantic in any sense. Neither of us have ever had a crush on each other. He's never even called me pretty. Let's be real. Like, it has just never been like that. And I've gotten along with all of my best friend's ex-girlfriends and actually became friends with them myself because our relationship is so clearly a family dynamic. So there was never anything for any of them to worry about. About a year and a half ago, my best friend started dating a new girl. Let's call her Jennifer. And Jennifer was not a fan of me. And listen, I tried my best to be nice to her, to get close to her, to build some kind of friendship. I would always ask her to go get lunch or hang out, and she wouldn't just say no. She would be so cold and rude about it. She would always give me backhanded compliments. Like, the girl was kind of the worst, but even though I thought that, I never said anything to my best friend, and I was always super nice to her. I assumed that eventually she'd come around because none of his other girlfriends had ever had a problem with me. I was friends with all of them. So I just thought she must be in her head about the whole thing. And eventually, as she got to know me better and saw our friendship, she would know that there was actually nothing to worry about. But yeah, that's not what happened. As my best friend and Jennifer continued to date, I would hear from him less and less, which did break my heart because that's a member of my family. That's somebody that I've known since I was born, and suddenly they're just not really in my life anymore. At one point, I was moving and I had a ton of my friends over. They were helping me pack, get things ready for the move. And I'd asked my best friend if he could come over and help me move some of the heavier furniture. And when he gets there, it's him and Jennifer. And I was fine with that. I was like, oh, hey girl, like, what's up? Glad to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. And she just had the most sour look on her face. She goes, yeah, I'm sure you're glad to see me. I'm sure that you wanted him here all by himself, didn't you? I was like, no, I don't care what he brings as long as he's moving my furniture. That's really what I care about. So my best friend goes to start moving my couch, and I'm trying to make small talk with Jennifer, get on her good side. I'm like, what have you been up to? What's new? And she lowers her voice and just says, listen, I'm not here to be friends. I don't want to talk to you. I'm just here because there's no way I would ever let you be alone with him. I was like, what? Do you see how many people are in my apartment right now? There's a lot of people in this apartment. What do you mean alone? She goes, oh, you're friends? You think I trust any of them either? I just straight up asked her, I was like, do you feel like I've done something since y'all been dating that's crossed a line? She's like, yes, you just existing crosses a line. Your friendship with him in general is crossing a line. I was like, my friend, he's a member of my family. I've known him since I was born. Do you just want me to unknow him? Then she looks me right in the eye and goes, never ask him to help you with anything ever again. I was like, is this a threat? Am I being threatened right now? Then, actually, the scariest thing I've ever seen, her complete demeanor changes and she just skips on over to my best friend and is like, babe, can I help you with anything? Like, that looks really heavy. You're so strong. You know what? I tried being nice to this girl, but she's off. She is off. And I made a decision that day that while they were dating, I really needed to just distance myself in every way from him. If he is dating a girl like that, he is a smart boy and he will figure out that it is not the right relationship for him in his own time. But I cannot be involved in that. And it's super sad because, again, I love him. He's a member of my family, but don't want to be in that drama. I didn't say anything to him about any of this situation because I just felt like it was best to stay out of it and let him figure out the things in his own relationship. But maybe I should have. Instead, I just kind of stopped reaching out as much, started responding a little less, and just started minding my own business. But last week, I worked really late and I went to the parking lot to get in my car, and that's when I realized that my car battery had died. Great. Did I have jumper cables? No, I didn't. Now, I made the decision the best person to call was my best friend because 1, he's a night owl. I knew he'd be up. 2, he lived 5 minutes away from where I was. And 3, he works with cars. So he was kind of the perfect person to call. It really made sense to me. So I call him up. It rings twice, goes straight to voicemail. Then I call him again, goes straight to voicemail. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's busy. So then I send him a text saying, like, SOS, can you call me? I need your help. My car's dead. But the text goes through green. I was blocked. He blocked me. I was in that parking lot for 4 hours before AAA came to get me. So that was a really fun night for me. So the very next night, I am peacefully sleeping because, I didn't get much sleep the night before. And I hear an absolute pounding on my door. I think it's the police. That's how aggressive it is. And I wake up, I look at the time, it's 2:30 a.m. Who would be at my door at 2:30 a.m.? So I check my Ring doorbell and I see that it's not just Jennifer and my best friend, but also my best friend's mom, my aunt. So I go and I open the door and immediately my aunt's like, Kels, are you okay? Is everything okay? And I'm like, what are they talking about? I'm thinking it must be about the car thing from the night before because, again, I still haven't talked to my best friend. He still has me blocked. So I was like, yeah, I'm totally fine. Like, what are you talking about? And my aunt says, well, Jennifer and my son just showed up and Jennifer just told me that she needed to get over to your house immediately and there was an emergency and we needed to have a conversation with you. And now I'm really confused. I was like, so Jennifer went to my aunt's house in the middle of the night, woke her up and said, we need to go to Kelsey's house right now. And I look over at my best friend and he is just emotionless. It is like all the light was gone from his eyes. I've never seen him like that. That's when Jennifer goes, well, there is an emergency. We all need to have a conversation about why Kels called my boyfriend after midnight last night. And she starts going off. She's like, in no world is it ever appropriate for you to be calling another woman's boyfriend after midnight for any reason. I'm sitting there like, and me and my aunt, we're just looking at each other wide-eyed. Like, we're not even looking at her. We're just locking eyes with each other. Just finally, I'm like, can I speak? And she's like, yeah, but I don't know what you think you're going to say that's going to make any of this okay. I was like, okay, well, I was at work and my car battery died and he works with cars and was 5 minutes away. So I thought that he could help me jump my car. And you would have known that was the reason because I did send a text, but I was blocked before I could give that explanation. So here we are. Like, what? Did she think I was calling him up to confess my love to him? Like, that's how delulu this girl is. That we've been friends my entire life. Nothing romantic has happened. None of us have ever had feelings, but she thought that one night I would just call in to confess my love. That's really what she thought. And I think my explanation is going to make sense to her because I think that somewhere deep down, she is a rational person. But no, I gave her too much credit because she looked me right in the eye and said, it's way better for you to be stranded than for you to ever call him. And that's when my aunt steps in and she pops off. She's like, first of all, this is a member of my family. You woke me up in the middle of the night and made me scared about her safety. Wouldn't tell me what this was about. Had me terrified. And now you're telling me that your delusions are more important than her physical safety. I can't. She looks at my best friend. She's like, I will never support this relationship. I don't want this girl around me. I'm still just standing there out in my pajamas and my bunny slippers like... Then she hit his mom back with, fine, then neither of you will be invited to our wedding. What wedding? Like, this was the first time I was hearing about a wedding. But yes, she showed the ring on her finger. And apparently my best friend was not allowed to tell me about it because Jennifer said that I shouldn't know anything about his personal life. As of now, the engagement is still on and he is still banned from even saying my name out loud, much less communicating with me. But I talked to my aunt recently and apparently he's having a lot of second thoughts about all of this. I have no idea what's going to happen next or what I'm going to do, but this whole situation is just out of control. My best friend's girlfriend confronted me and it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. If you haven't seen part 1 to this story, go watch that first and come back here. But to catch everybody up, my best guy friend, who's basically my cousin, we're like family, has a terrible, horrible girlfriend. We're calling her Jennifer. This story left off when I was awoken in the middle of the night. And when I went to my door, it was my best guy friend, Jennifer, and my best guy friend's mom, who's literally my aunt, standing there. Jennifer was confronting me for calling my best guy friend in the middle of the night to ask for help when my car broke down. After the 3 of them left my house, I just needed to decompress a little bit. It was the most toxic experience of my life. I thought I was dreaming. For the next few days, I mostly just minded my own business. I did talk to my best friend's mom, my aunt, a little bit about the situation because obviously she was really upset that her son is dating kind of the worst girl ever. But about 3 days after this all went down, I hear another knock on my door. And at this point, I'm like, I don't want to know who's coming to my house unannounced anymore. Last time it was not a good situation. But it was just my best friend standing there. I opened the door for him and I'm like, dude, we need to start getting past this whole showing up unannounced at my house thing. It's weird. He's like, I had no other choice. You blocked me. I've been texting you nonstop and you're not answering. I look at him and I was like, you blocked me. I told you that. When you came over to my house with Jennifer and your mom, I said that night where I was stranded, I called, rang twice, hung up. I called again, went straight to voicemail. I texted you. It turned green. You had me blocked. He was like, Kels, you don't have to lie to me, okay? I know I didn't block you and all your texts are going through green. So obviously you're upset about the situation, but you can't just like shut me out like this. I was like, I am not lying to you. But that's when it hits me. If I didn't block him and he didn't block me, I know exactly what happened. I said, go to the settings on your phone and go to your block callers. I bet I'm going to be in there. Opens the setting. Yep. I was blocked. And he's looking so confused. And I was like, why are you confused? I feel like everybody in the entire world would be able to problem solve exactly what happened in this situation. I told him that night when I was broken down on the side of the road, when I called you, did you ever see my call come through? Did you know I called you? He was like, no. Like, well, probably because you weren't with your phone when it happened, but somebody probably was with your phone. And they blocked me. He's like, no, Jennifer wouldn't do that. What do you mean? Of course Jennifer would do that. He said that over the last few days, he's been so upset because he's been trying to reach out to me. And he's been telling Jennifer that he's really upset that I blocked him. And Jennifer's like, it's okay, babe. Maybe you just need to move on. She obviously doesn't want to be a part of your life anymore. Finally, I was like, okay, I mean, you came over here for a reason. So can we have that conversation now? And he was like, yeah, we need to talk about something that Jennifer said you and her had a conversation about. And I'm going through my head. I was like, me and Jennifer never talk. We sit down on my couch and he's looking really serious. He starts to sweat. I'm like, what is going on? What is that girl saying now? Because obviously it's something that's not going to be true. I already clocked that one and I was right. He told me that Jennifer told him that on that day, they both came over to my apartment to help me move. I pulled her aside and I said that she needs to back off because me and him were destined to be together and that she's just a temporary fix in his life until he realizes that the two of us are meant to be and leaves her for me. I was like, what? Sorry, who said that? To who? That never came out of my mouth. Honestly, I just burst out laughing when he said this, like uncontrollably, because it was so ridiculous to me. Again, he is like my cousin, a member of my family. Never, ever have I thought of him romantically, and he knows that. He's aware of our dynamic. I don't even know why he would believe this. And as I'm just like losing it, laughing so hard, he's like, Kelsey, you really need to take this seriously. I understand why Jennifer is so uncomfortable about our friendship if that's what you said to her. I was like, get so for real. Get so for real. You truly think that conversation happened. Look me right in the eyes and tell me that you really think that I said that to her. He goes, well, why would Jennifer lie to me? I said, why would Jennifer lie to you? Because she's a liar. She wants to manipulate you to control you. Finally, I said, look, I am not going to sit here and try to convince you on what is reality. It's just not good for me. It's not healthy for me. I love you. You are one of the most important people in my life, but I don't want you in my life if this is what's going to be happening. It's too much for me. I told him, listen, if you're with Jennifer, I just can't be around you. It's exactly what she wants. She wants me out of the way. She wants me not in your life. And fine. If that's what she wants, she can have it. I'll always love you. I'll always support you. I'll always be here for you if you need me. But I don't want people showing up at 2 a.m. at my door screaming at me anymore. And that's when my best friend starts sobbing. And I've never seen the man cry. I've known him his entire life. Never seen him cry. And he goes, so you're telling me I have to pick between the two of you? I was like, do not say it like that. It's not like you have two girls that you're dating and I'm like, it's me or her. Like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying that she's a really toxic person for me to be around. And if that's the person you're going to marry, then I can't have you in my life either. I finally was like, okay, it's time to go because I know who tracks your location. And if she finds out that you're here right now, I'm going to have her showing up in the middle of the night again. And I don't want that. That's the whole point, that I'm establishing these firm boundaries with you. Now, my best friend has unblocked me from his phone and is sending me all these texts asking me to reconsider our friendship, saying that if me, him, and Jennifer all sat down and got lunch together, he really thinks he could clear up this misunderstanding. There isn't a misunderstanding. Okay? She's a liar. I don't want to be a part of it. That's it. That's the situation. I'm just hoping that someone can get through to him and he finally gets out of that relationship because he's way too good of a guy to be dealing with that.